Right, so last we left off, we were attacked by a glow-in-the-dark bear as we tried to fumble our way in the darkness, only to find out there's another large bear that we also needed to find, in addition to over a handful of thugs. It was a nasty fight, not gonna lie. Obsidian and Atticus got surrounded by some thugs, even though then they managed to fight themselves quite well. Sita found herself isolated with a newcomer, a more sophisticated and good, wow, my English, assailant who honestly almost killed her. In turn, she almost killed him, and he decided to sign off, saying until next time. So that's something to like follow up. If we ever see this person again, Sita will probably want to punch him in the face. As I said, it was tough, but we did manage to survive. And then we ransacked this lab, finding, I guess, disappointingly few drugs for the mission that we thought we would accomplish. We thought this was going to be a drug den, and we found very little, maybe for personal use, quantities of drugs. We did find a hell of a lot of poison being distilled in the lab, disguised as healing potions, and that almost killed poor Atticus. Frustrated, at least Sita, that we had been lied to, and suspecting that the Night Eyes are not being as truthful as they pretended to be. We trashed the place. Then by sheer fate and luck, we found a green ring with an inlaid amethyst and a scroll. And after that, we decided to leave, setting fire to the warehouse. Not all was lost in the night, though, as we made a new acquaintance, a blue-purple hair gun who introduced himself as Lapin Lazuli, a jeweler appraiser. And that's what happened. Is it anathema? No.
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 Same position. Oh, right. No.
Thing. There we go. Good. I'll have to review, but now my huge worry is that my own microphone hasn't been picked up for this whole session, in which case I'll have to go back and talk over and dub over it all.
That'll be hilarious.
My God, we will soon see. So, you are all outside Lapin's Lazuli discussing the ring. Was consensus reached?
Yes, Atticus is taking it.
Oh, right.
As he places the ring on his finger,
Thanks. 100 poison damage.
Atticus disappears. No, wrong game. Yes, it just feels like slipping on a normal ring. The period of melding was, I imagine, very obviously just a narrative description of attunement.
Send it over.
Oh, yes, of course. Was it in your inventory, Siri? I can't remember.
It wasn't actually, no, it was just in my notes.
Excellent. Okay, then we have... I've dropped it into your inventory. Atticus Gladstone. One ring of poison resistance.
I guess we're not using SRD prices for these items.
Correct. Well, that's what it was described as what he'd buy it for. What someone may then choose to sell it for is an entirely different story.
We could always we could check the magic item vendor at the Adventurers Guild as well, so we could get a better price.
As he immediately screenshot back into the chat. Yeah, he has. Yeah, you know he has. So, what next?
I guess it's not worth putting off.
Shall we deal with it? Strike while the iron's hot.
Sure.
Yeah, I got Is there? What did the ice cream come in?
All of you got tray things, didn't you? Really? So
No, I
yeah,
haven't.
a nice edible, like wafer tray.
Oh, okay. Cool. Is this the type of city that has like public bathrooms occasionally?
Yeah, yeah. It's a big city. There'll be occasionally stalls, just groups of little outhouses.
I would like to finish my ice cream and then look about for the nearest public restroom facility.
I really thought you were saying you want to finish your ice cream in a toilet. I was like, disgusting. You lose 5 AC forever. Yeah, as you're making your way towards the Blink Dog, you can certainly find some public restrooms. And the facilities are made available to you.
Alright, just as we're walking by on the way to the Blink Dog, as soon as I see him, I'm gonna be like, and start heading towards the facilities.
Okay, yeah.
And once I am in the facilities, I'm gonna take some drugs.
Oh my god.
Shock. I feel like I had a bad time on the Mistbane, so I'm gonna try out that silk root, which I have not tried yet.
Yeah. It looks like it is. It doesn't come with instructions, obviously, but it
Correct.
will save it from your past experience. You identify that this is clearly meant to be crumbled and snorted.
Cool. Alright.
So are you doing a lot? Are you doing a silk route?
I will do a line.
Okay. Can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please? There is a very, very cold rush. Okay. Yeah, there's a very, very cold head rush. Your vision spins, not to the degree that it did with the Mistbane. And your moving your hand feels a bit weird and traily, but after that initial, you feel the adrenaline spike. Seem okay?
Cool.
Just
I will
slightly energized.
I will pack everything away, tidy up, go wash my hands, and then join them all back out on the street.
Yep. You step out and your companions are there.
Cool. Sorry, try to keep going.
So you didn't come through. What did you say?
I just look at the others.
Do you know what? If you're talking to us, do you want to unmute and I'll mute for a minute?
I just look at the others and say, alright, sorry about that.
You
I'm
muted.
ready to keep going. I'm muted.
I will look at you guys to say, oh, sorry about that. And just continue on down the street.
Sure, we've got a little ways to travel, right?
Yeah, we are currently what in the center district?
Yes.
Well, wait, don't we just for the Blink Dog? Is it the River District or the Bridge District?
Blink Dog. The Blink Dog is.
Oh shit.
Exactly.
What?
Atticus is going to look around and just approach the largest person he can find.
Yeah, there's a looks to be a Goliath in the street. There's a building that's being worked on, and he's clearly some sort of labourer and is passing just roof beams up to a woman and a man who are on the roof.
You, he says, pointing at the man. I'm stronger than you.
Okay.
Come here so that I might smite you.
Then I must be smoked. And he strides towards you and just tilts his head down.
And in one motion, Atticus draws the greatsword and brings it crashing down on this guy.
Yeah.
What?
He just to the floor. And blood
That's spectacular.
Sita just goes and like tongue kisses his brother.
and the man and the woman on the roof who've been working just go, "He is the cake!" And both just fall backwards off the roof onto the floor.
Sita catches one and then immediately just kind of like snaps their head and starts laughing.
That was my cue.
Don't
Why'd you
worry,
do that?
friend. There's room. There's Atticus for everyone. And then Atticus will start tongue kissing Obsidian.
Yeah, the lizard will get into that.
He's like being delicate
That's
though
gonna
because
last.
because of the hungry jaws.
So at the beginning of this, I feel like I was absolutely like freaking out at Atticus, and then when that happened and it continued, I would have been like, "Oh, okay. Oh, okay. No, we just gotta stay cool. We just gotta. I know what this is." And so, I don't know how y'all would have taken me initially looking at Atticus and trying to be like, "Ha ha!" And then just like, just trying to show.
She like looks at you and in like a really weird tongue, she like sort of looks confused and then like basically her mouth like opened and then what comes out is just like a trail of like feathers as she's coming to approach you.
I'm just gonna
Asha.
try my hardest not to look at them. And
Asha,
make eye contact
Are
with
you, are you okay? Are you okay? Because you're next.
Yeah, you hearing your heart pounding in fear or panic in your chest gets louder and louder until you hear it turns into a more rhythmic knocking on wood, and you hear one of your companions on the other side of the toilet door asking if everything's okay. And as you return to your senses, this well and secretly orchestrated jape, you realise you are still in the
This is really
outhouse.
shitty of all of you.
You slowly come back, your senses sharpen again, and you find yourself in the toilet. 5 or 10 minutes haven't passed.
Yep, I'm gonna open the door. I'm tidying everything up. Come out. Is it actually one of my companions or just someone in line?
Do you think after 10 minutes one of you would have checked on her? If not,
Oh,
if
you
someone's
said
like,
5
come on!
I would probably still just be waiting.
There's a very, very indignant halfling, hands planted firmly on his hips, large Pringles man moustache quivering with rage. It's like, I've been holding this all day! Come on!
Sorry. I'm just gonna shove past him. Go wash my hands. Gonna wash my face as well.
Yeah, you feel fine in yourself, other than the horror. And yeah, you see your companions stood there, not killing people in the street, not incestuously kissing, just all looking over at you.
I'm gonna walk up, kind of less trusting this time. You're like, oh, I'm ready to go. Thanks for waiting.
Asha, you've been gone a while. Are you okay?
There was a line.
Fair enough.
Yes, there was.
Superman flies away.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should have organised it so that you there, come here, just look again. No.
Right, let's get on. We need to.
At what point did you orchestrate this, TM?
I think like 2 weeks ago. I think I just decided that as hey, next instead of just her constantly going off to the toilet, getting wrecked and disappearing, we should all just coordinate. I think I messaged everybody and was just like, hey, I'm sending this to everyone except Asha. The next time she slinks off to do drugs, let's just all get involved. And when she returns to the party, just do and say weird campaign breaking shit. And then we'll just snap back to her, having never left the toilet. So I did just message everybody like, it's happening!
Traitors, a lot of you. Alright, yeah, I'll just say, there was a line, and then turn and start walking.
Okay. Any other stops you want to make on your way to the Blink Dog? Cool. We will. Oh, Atticus.
No, I was going to say no. That's fine.
We will bypass the going through the definitely not the leaky cauldron to get to the place behind, and we will load into the Blink Dog.
United Front, right?
Remember, temper's low.
The map should have loaded for everybody, yeah? Why is that like that? Cool. Ah. We're back.
Indeed. Morning, my good fellow.
Good morning. You know the drill by now? Let it take a sniff of you.
Sniff away, little chum. But don't get any ideas.
Good. I don't know how much longer we'll keep using these, but it seems prudent and it doesn't eat anything, so easy. Yes, you're all good. Come in.
Do you kind of want to be able to come back here for the sake of the fighting bit? Like, I'd be happy to get involved, but also, at the very least, we could, like, watch something, you know? Anyway, you know, never mind. Pressing business and all that.
Maybe we just chill and if we finish our work for them on good terms, maybe we can stay friendly.
Oh,
You see,
Contessa.
rapidly approaching you. Hello!
Contessa?
How is everyone doing today?
we've been better.
Yeah.
Oh. Zendo said you did some really good work. Did it not go well?
It went well, just not quite as expected.
I'm sorry. You want to have a drink in a bit?
Inside check. Is she actually sorry?
Wait, is that check? I will, as ever, have her deceive.
As in, like, more like, you know, does she know more that she's letting in?
Yeah? Okay.
I wonder if I do inside checks and I'm not insightful. I won't necessarily try.
Oh my god, I was like, man, she's rolled so low. But then you managed to roll lower. She seems to be talking fast, open, big eye contact. She seems genuinely excited and eager to see you. You don't get the sense that there's any holding back or subtext or layers to this. She seems to be... She's not yet given you the impression of being any sort of skilled liar.
Maybe later on that drink. What's the deal with the fighting pit, by the way? Like, is there arranged matches? Can anyone just rock up?
I mean, I've seen a couple just get in there and say they're looking for a scrap. I know they've... Zento says there are boxing nights and sort of brawlers' eve sometimes, mainly for coin, which sounds exciting, though he hasn't let me come to one of those yet. But yeah, I mean, if you go and look in the pit, you'll see there's like blood mixed with the sand. So people must really go at it.
Is it like no holds barred, or?
I mean, I've seen a bit of boxing, but I've seen more than one person when they're a bit deep in their cups go in and just be like, and she tries to really like, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough, sort of thing.
Fair enough. Anyway, we better get to reporting in.
Ooh, okay. I'll hopefully have a drink with you in a bit. I've got to go do a few things later, but be nice to have a drink.
What are you up to later?
I'm going for lunch with my dad.
Oh, who's your dad?
My dad, my mum's husband. He's actually pretty important.
Really?
He works for the council.
Yeah.
Hasn't she mentioned that before?
No, but I guessed it.
Oh.
Because she seems to be in an arranged relationship that they're orchestrating because they like having her under their thumb. She's a rich, important hostage, romantic hostage of this organization.
I love to think of that as an in-character conversation in front of her.
No. But like Asher alluded to similar suspicions in character before.
And also we had
Maybe that was it.
the little girl kind of pretending to be like the daughter of the council, so because that was something that she might have heard or something. You remember there was a little girl in the gambling debt? Then she was joking about, she was sort of trying to pass off as the daughter of one of the six.
Do you
I bet
know?
that comes with a lot of perks, Contessa.
Repeat?
I bet that comes with a lot of perks, Contessa.
Well, he'll buy me things if I ask very nicely, and
Nice.
once I wanted to open a perfume stall, and he sorted all that for me, but that didn't work out. I kind of got bored of it. So I met Zento, and obviously I was far too busy to be playing shop then. He's obviously he would have got me out the other day if Zento hadn't just been too impatient and excited to see me. So yes, he's a bit grumpy. He's always got opinions on what I should be doing, but he's nice enough. I wouldn't change him.
And we'll drinks later.
Okay. I'll get them now. What do you all want?
What's your favorite?
I like Rose Shore wine.
Alright, let's try it.
Okay. And she like rushes off and orders glasses of it all for you.
I'm gonna give a very meaningful glance to everyone.
What's everybody else doing in the meantime? Are you going to have these drinks of an hour, or are you letting her just nurse them for you for later?
Sita's not drinking. Sita has like a sour face. Like she can't like
Perpetually.
like properly like brown, like kind of like frowny face, and kind of keeping her eyes and her shoulders back, and just kind of like keeping good. She's not. It's weird because she's usually loud and confident and sort of like happy to be everywhere, but like she's not happy here.
Yeah, I'd say Atticus is probably focused on the goal for once in his life, and so is heading straight towards the courier.
Zento comes over and gives you all a wave, and sort of silent next to Contessa. It's like, "Are you getting one for me as well, my love?" "Oh, thank you very much." Gives you a little kiss on the cheek. "What's it? Oh, this is expensive stuff, isn't it? This." "Oh, you're too good, too good," and drains it in one. The others are on the bar waiting for you. Anybody who wants one, Contessa's very much like,
Yeah, I'll try it. Pretty good.
it tastes, if you feel like you have moved in these circles ever, you would immediately know that this is expensive. If you haven't moved in these circles, you might just be a taste disgusting.
I have not moved in these circles, but I will down it the same as I down everything else.
I'd say with your background, Atticus, you'd certainly, if you partake, recognise this as one of the finer things in life.
This is a rose shore, isn't it? Oh, that's the good stuff.
It is. My dad owns half a vineyard for it, so I've always been around it.
Yes, my mother's a fan, and but my dad tolerates it. It's yeah, it's been a while since I've had such an excellent vintage.
It's from Cormier. Most of it is, but not all of it. You know, I didn't know that. A little bit of it is not from Cormier.
That's most interesting. I'll pick this up with you afterwards, but
Okay.
we do have to make sure that we check in and do some business.
Okay. It's all exciting, isn't it? I feel like a diplomat or like a spy.
Very exciting.
Hmm?
Yeah, Atticus is gonna
you
approach.
want another one? Yeah. Oh, of course, baby. Of course, baby. And she goes to Zento's been whispering to her, and she goes to like order another drink. Yeah, the
Now
figure.
Worf? No. Because, yep. Good Worf. Good little Worf.
Yeah, Worf, the sticky-fingered koala. You are knowing his tricks. He has no chance. Clearly, his craft relies on them being so disarmed by, oh look, a cute little drop bear, that they don't notice pockets being pilfered. When you're looking for it, it's so easy to stop. Yeah, at the door, the masked figure with their heavy crossbow. He looks across you all. So, I think he's been expecting you. And just leans back and duh. And then steps aside.
So just kind of turn to Siri as we're going in, just
What?
just gonna do walk in.
Good morning.
Greetings.
I'm surprised. And Ardeth is just sat, quite at ease. Couple of open books on the table. Couple of pouches. It's like, I must confess, I was surprised you did not come and collect your payment last night. Did your exertions take a toll on you?
They did. Needed a bit of a sleep it off.
Yes, we were definitely a little bit worse for wear. I feel like perhaps you did not fully describe the extent of what we were getting ourselves into. Would that be fair to say?
I believe it would be fair to say that the interior of the warehouse was unknown to us, and that there would be an element of independent research and risk assessment involved, yes?
My concerns are more the associations.
But
You
really,
described.
and I'm gonna try and cut him off. But really, our concerns are whether or not we're all paid up with your favor for busting us out of jail the other night, and we're all settled.
Well, we discussed this before, did we not? Yes. This was an opportunity with the potential for further work. That is why you are being paid for this, not it being the consideration of a bargain fulfilled.
By the way,
Right.
I heard the guard captain was looking for some people with our description, so anyone else who was in there like Contessa, they should bear that in mind and be on the, down low.
I will take care of it. But yes, this was a transaction in cash, which half the pouch is on the table. I have every intention of fulfilling. By all accounts, it seems you did sterling work. Obviously, I've spoken to several of you about other avenues of recompense I can look into for you, and I'm happy to say those have been most fruitful. Is there some umbrage you have taken? You did not
I
lose any of your
just
companions,
wanted to
did
make
you?
sure you were satisfied with our work.
I
We're
don't.
all good.
I don't think we're interested in continuing further associations. I
Regrettable
think-
but respectable. I'm at peace with this.
Sounds like we are, in fact, on the same page. And he's like, at this time, looking at his companions rather than Arden.
It is a shame. I hoped it would start to be the beginning of a excellent working relationship, but as I said to you last time, no strings. He pushes the pouch across the table. I have made preliminary inquiries to nightly orders for you, Atticus. I've attempted to find the permits and samples you were interested in, Asher. I'm happy to say I have succeeded in getting all of that together for you. I am happy to hand that over to you if you still wish. We've no burden or obligation of future work, though our door is always open to you if you change your mind.
Okay.
The two easily bribed members of the group have a lot to think about.
Sid is like, we won't be taking this money, as this would be
Oh,
payments for services rendered, and we have done none of that. What we have done is repaid the debt of you taking us out of jail. And with that, we are squared.
it is not what we discussed previously, though. This coin was for the service you rendered in destroying that warehouse and ridding those peddlers. So I am.
Speaking of peddlers,
I found myself a little confused.
you made out like these were some kind of low-life rival drug gang,
Indeed.
when clearly they were a branch of the Shadow Thieves.
The Shadow Thieves. No, I assure you that is not the
They
case.
said so themselves.
They said. So, the Shadow Thieves, who you understand to be one of the most formidable, influential, and secretive thieves guilds in all of the Sword Coast, and particularly entrenched within Athkatla, they told you that they were the Shadow Thieves. Does that not seem...
Something along the lines of, "You'll regret messing with the Shadow Thieves."
And he just continues to look at you like, if so, forgive me. I am no longer in Usnafa. I should take a more congenial approach. Were you a small upstart drug organization, a very little fish in a very, very big ocean, full of sharks, and someone came and knocking on your door, would you not think it likely to make like they say you do when a bear comes, and to draw yourself to be bigger and more fearsome? Do you think perhaps the Shadow Thieves of Athkatla may not have got where they were in life by shouting, "Salut! We are the Shadow Thieves! Get away!"
I think that they were subtle about it to begin with, and then once we were wildly outnumbered, and they assumed our deaths were certain, then they probably were okay with boasting about it. This idea is further stipulated by the fact that there was minimal drugs on the premises for a drug-pushing warehouse, and several, I can only say, elite warriors, one of whom could turn into a bear.
Well, the Shadow
This is not
Thieves
this
do
is not the kind of gift I expect of, the rival drug gang.
I can resolve this. Well, I have the means to resolve this for you if you're interested, although, as I hear, you wish to simply end the association, but I would happily set up a meeting between us and my counterpart in the Shadow Thieves, and make it very clear to you that this was not the Shadow Thieves organization. The Night Eyes, after all, are a part of the larger Shadow Thieves, making even less sense of this boastful bluff by this
I was
peddler.
under the
But,
impression that you were splintered from the Shadow Thieves.
We report to the Shadow Thieves, though. As I said, their umbrella is wide. We don't operate
is
without their
interesting.
consent.
Well, no need to follow up for me, but I would suggest that you double check just in case with whoever your counterpart may be.
I assure you, if this had been the case, I would have woken up dead this morning. They know where this place is.
Very well. But I only hope that when they see our faces, would they know the association? We weren't screaming about being the Night Eyes.
You clearly have more discretion than whoever these peddlers are then. You killed them all, or is this not successful?
Atticus hesitates briefly. I believe there was one very dexterous backflipping swordsman who escaped clearly a very elite trained fighter, and additionally, some kind of mage who could turn into a bear. That one we did not get to put down, but everyone else, yes.
It is regrettable. Let's hope that they were not the masterminds behind this endeavor, but merely hired muscle and capable of setting up a new venture. This works well then. We can call this severance and part amicably.
Could I go for an insight on Ardeth in relation to this whole thing? Well,
Yeah.
are they surprised at all by the
I would like to
But-
get in on that action.
by,
Any
By the way-
surprise at what?
at the revelations regarding the nature of the warehouse and what we found inside, or rather what we haven't found inside?
Sure. I will, as ever, do a deception. If you want to make an insight?
I'm mostly interested in seeing whether I think that it doesn't matter what I want to know.
He's remained, or they've remained, impassive as you're telling the tale, nodding at appropriate points. You see them not taking notes, but whenever there's you notice quite often when there's a point that they then follow up on, there's an initial like tap, almost like a little tick, where for them they're like I'm gonna come back to that, and you track that happens a few times, but you don't see any flash of surprise. You also don't get that sense of, oh well, I knew this, but wanted to know what happened anyway.
Alright, well, if we're just.
Ooh,
The door
bonjour le chat.
The door opens to the room behind, and a tabaxi enters. Looks around you all. Ardef sort of goes to stand when the door opens. But the tabaxi just and sort of leans on the table.
Hi!
Tell me what happened.
Why? Do you not know what happened?
I want to hear you tell me what happened.
And why should we do that?
You see Ardef just sort of, you pick up on immediately, Siri, Ardef clearly immediately uncomfortable.
I appreciate a search of knowledge, but I don't believe we have been introduced.
Door closes behind you. This is my establishment. My gold. Humor me. What occurred in the warehouse? And he pulls a chair out and sits down. You don't have to be the one to tell the tale if you don't want to.
Atticus will just look to Sire to see if she's going to speak, or whether he should jump in.
Yeah, I'm looking the same.
She doesn't seem to want to speak at all.
So we approached the warehouse, right? The guys were not having any of our bluff. They did not want to let us in. They said in fact, one thing they said was they were going to send for the city guards. And then before you know it, from within the warehouse came a city guard. Anyway, we slaughtered like 10 of them upstairs, turned the place over, no drugs. But one of them escaped to the basement. Chased him down to the basement. There was like 10 more down there. Killed those guys. Still not really any drugs. Lots of potion of poison. Or some lots of vats of what looked like healing potion, but turned out to be poison. And also, like I said before to your colleague, there was the person that turned into a bear, and that was quite traumatic for my colleagues. And also some kind of backflipping ninja, and those two managed to escape. But it was pretty rough going. I took out 8 men myself, but there's only so much I can do.
How many guards were there upstairs?
I would say 8 to 10 individuals, one of whom was a city guard. The rest were, I don't know, peons, gang members, I don't know.
Looks at
Quite
obsidian.
a large.
Oh,
It's quite a large underground lab.
looks at obsidian. Tell me what happened.
I've just heard what
I
happened.
want to hear it from you,
Why?
because I like to hear stories. Tell me what happened.
Which part should I repeat for you?
All of it.
We just concluded our business, I thought. And you have heard everything there was to hear from my companions.
You want to know what happened? What happened is that you sent someone you can't manipulate. Now, can we be on our merry way?
Pushes the coin pouch across the table. Spend it in health.
I take a coin pouch.
Ardef sort of looks at the room as the figure leaves and just like, as I said, if you change your mind in the future, you are most welcome to return. Sort of points at the door, opens, and you see Ardef looks like they'd quite like to leave this room as well now. But is blocked in every direction.
Come on, them gang. Did Astra and Obsidian also take some gold?
It was one big pouch.
1 pouch, okay.
We're taking the money?
Yeah, I
He's
definitely got
taken
the
the
money.
money.
As we leave the room, I'm just gonna like quietly say to everyone, be like, "We have this whole fucking thing wrong. Why do I feel like I'm very confused?"
I feel like I have no idea
waving to
what's
you.
going on.
I
Like,
got-
were those
I got
guys
us
shadow
some
thieves,
food.
weren't they? Food! Oh, what's better than second breakfast? Breakfast, ice cream, breakfast.
Thank you.
And yeah,
So,
she's got. We'll say, do you know what? We'll mix things up. We'll say it's the D&D equivalent of some nice hamburgers and fries.
So, Contessa, where do you stay?
sometimes I say most of the time I stay at Zento's place. He has a very nice apartment. Rustic, isn't it? Rustic, yes. But the rest of the time I stay at home.
Your place, your dad's, or
Oh, my dad's.
nice?
I've tried a few times getting my own place, but it's a lot of hassle, isn't it? It's a lot of things to do, a lot of having to hire, fire, rehire cleaners and cooks, and I just kind of never really understood rent. It's a very complicated. It's much more convoluted than it needs to be. But Dad refuses to outright buy me a place until I'm a bit older. He says. So yes, I normally stay at home.
Nice.
The
But
lovely
yeah,
little-
I
lovely
totally
place
get
in
what
the-
you mean about the servants. What a pain in the arse.
I know, isn't it? But yes, I've got a little place over in the Scepter District.
Scepter District. Nice. Waterfront.
Mm-hmm. What about you? Where are you all staying?
We're kind of searching for more permanent lodgings right now, kind of between
Oh.
places.
Are you vagrants? Do you want me to get you some more
Whoa.
food?
Whoa, we're not vagrants,
Oh.
okay?
Okay.
We're just
Because
staying at
even
like...
even if you were, not a problem. I very often give to charities.
We're just new to the city, so we've been staying in inns and, you know, that kind of thing until we can put down some roots, you know?
Seeing the chat, would you like to swap microphones for a bit, Asha?
No, it's fine, because I would be talking with Contessa anyways.
Do it. I'll lean forward.
I'm gonna look at Contessa and the group and just be like, I'm sorry, guys. I know we had a rough night, so maybe I'm just a little out of it, but does anyone feel like that went horribly in there just now?
Was a little cringe, gotta say.
I'm gonna look at Zento and be like,
Zento, mind if I just borrow Contessa for a second? Contessa, do you mind if I just pry you away from your lover there for just a second?
Oh, but I'd miss her.
I'll give her right back.
Okay. I sort of steps away a bit.
I believe that we have reached the outcome we have agreed upon beforehand.
Contessa, how long have you known these guys?
About 6 months now?
They seem pretty chill.
Oh, yes. We're always doing really fun stuff.
All right, I'm gonna kind of lean away from these guys right here on the bar. Try and get, you know. All right. I'm gonna be really level with you, and I'm saying this. I know that most of this is gonna end up back, filtering back to Zento or Ardith anyways. But like, I mostly am just trying to get a feel from her for things. But it's like, so here's the deal. When did this job last night? And we thought, like, all right, Night Eyes, they seem real cool. Let's go do this. Yeah. Except that we got there, and it was crazy. It was totally crazy, and the place there seemed like a way bigger organization. And it was like, oh my God, the Night Eyes set us up in some gang war or something, right? So then we come back here like, all right,
That
let's
sounds
get out.
really exciting, but no.
Well, Sure. But so we're like, all right, let's just get out of this. Like, we don't want to be fighting anybody's war, right?
No.
So we come back here and we're like, hey, Ardith, like, maybe we just like boogie. But then he was like, I got all the things that you said you wanted. I did all the things, like, I got the paperwork for you, and I've got a hookup for knighthood for you, and like all the things that he said he was going to do, like a really solid guy, and then seemed genuinely like cool, and was like, oh no, what have we done? But then a really scary looking tabaxi guy comes in, and it's super weird.
You met AJ.
Is that his name? AJ, cool. Yeah, no, and so it's like, and we're like, man, we just don't want to be
the big boss.
like big boss, like in charge of night eyes, or like in charge of like even more.
No, he's in charge of the night eyes.
I
only met him twice. He doesn't talk very much.
Yeah, well, he asked us to tell the story, but he asked it like twice. It was really weird, right?
Zento's told me about this. It's to make sure your stories are the same. Because if you keep telling the story and something might change, then because Zento's really smart, then it's like, you're lying.
Yeah.
Totally, that only works if you're in separate rooms.
That's how I thought it worked.
No, I thought that. But Zento told me it was one time where this person hadn't told the truth, and AJ just got to tell the story again and again and again, and it turned out he was lying, and he knew about it, and then AJ killed his friend in front of him.
Cool. That sounds like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems like we maybe walked into something we shouldn't have, and then we tried to politely get out of it just in case that's what we had done, and now we've upset more people maybe, and like I think we maybe upset Ardith. So you know, if you're hanging out with him, just let him know that we're not actually upset with him, and we're all cool. We just didn't want to like be in the middle of everything.
Yeah, I'll tell him that. Ardith's really nice. I'll tell him.
Maybe I'll just hopefully not ever meet AJ again though, right? Like he seems like a really intense person.
Very, very intense.
Yeah.
He does come up and buy a bit of drinks occasionally, but when he won't speak, he'll just go back into his room, and Zento's always like, he's conducting business, and things like that.
Yeah. How long have you and Zento been a thing?
About 6 months.
Yeah. How'd you meet?
We just bumped into each other in the street. I was actually coming out of a shop, and he bumped into me, and was very, very nice, and said he liked me, and he followed me, not in a creepy way, he like walked along next to me talking, and I agreed to go on a date with him.
Serendipitous. You're just bumping into him like that.
Yes.
Very
I'm
cute.
thinking of introducing him to my dad soon. It's getting pretty serious. He's very, very keen to me.
Be careful with that. Dads are so protective, No one's ever good enough.
But Zento's been keen for a while to meet him because he said that it shows that he's not afraid to commit. Because a lot of people wouldn't want to meet the parents, but he's very, very keen to meet him to show that, he's on the level.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about.
Yeah. We should hang out more.
That would be absolutely. I could go on adventure with you.
Listen, I'm not an adventurer. I really want to. You know how you said you opened up a perfume shop?
Mm-hmm.
I make and sell potions. That's my dream.
No way.
A potion shop. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I know.
Do you go to shop?
No, I'm working towards it. I gotta get licensing. It's kind of a hassle.
Don't. My dad's in charge of all that department. I hear about that all the time.
Yeah.
All that. Yes.
Yeah. It seems like a hassle, but I'm taking care of it.
I mean, if you want me to, I could just ask him for a license for you. If you want, people always want that sort of stuff from me. I can just ask him that.
I wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to ask that of you. Like we just like kind of met only like a few days ago. But if it ever comes up, like he's just like handing out licenses, you grab one for me.
I mean, it's literally his job. He has people working for him and handling it all, but he's the big boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
right. I don't know what we're doing next, but you're around here a lot, so we can just come find you, right?
Please.
Okay.
That'd be amazing.
Okay.
Girlfriends.
Girlfriends. I'm gonna look at the others. Be like, are we hanging around here, or are we heading out? What do you want to do?
But the point was we wanted to go away and not really come back too much.
Yeah. That was my mindset when we first got here, for sure. Now we're all sorts of confused.
You were asking
Confused
a
is
lot
the
of
right word.
personal questions of her about her relationship. Why?
Yeah, are we stepping away, by the way?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
We can say that you've left if you want. I can put you all back outside.
is there a call with that?
Leaving is good. I need to
Yeah.
clear my head anyway.
Okay. Yeah. So in answer to your questions there, all right. Now, listen. I'm not even sure I was right about the whole night thing, so I don't know if I'm right about this. But Tessa is an idealistic, romantic daughter of someone on the council. And suddenly, this guy shows up that's part of this organization, just shows up and bumps into her and is really into her, and wants to date her. And she can get things through all the time by just asking her dad. And she can get things forgiven probably by just talking to her dad. And just there, I remember I told you that moment when we were here where Ardith was checking in on Zento, making sure he was following through on romantic gestures, almost like he needed to be coached in his own relationship. And so it just felt very puppet-like, orchestrated, you know? So it's just like, do they have a really nice, impressionable young influential girl that they can manipulate by having her be in a relationship with one of them? That's just my thought. She just seems like a nice, fun little sheep in a den of wolves.
Whoa.
But maybe, you know, seeing your reaction is just, I'm instantly gonna try and walk
No,
away. Like,
listen,
maybe, you know, like,
I don't have many girlfriends, and I never had a romantic relationship, so I wouldn't know what one would look like. So if you're saying that's strange, I mean, maybe she.
I could be reading
I
wrong.
can't-
Maybe
no
Ardith
idea.
was just trying to be a good bro and realizes that maybe his friend drops the ball a lot, but really likes this girl. So he was just like, hey, make sure you buy the flowers and do all. You know, maybe he was just trying to be a good friend. I could have misread. Who knows? I'm just gonna hands and Marcus just kind of start walking along.
You make it sound so plausible. I don't know if it's. She doesn't seem to be in harm. Honestly, I said I don't know what to do about this.
I think I just keep checking in on her, maybe be your friend. You know, I'm probably reading into too much, but you know, I'm sure everything's fine.
No, this thing you are following, that's your voice. That's your intuition. It might even be and there's a chime here for the word guardian.
I'm definitely no. I'm probably just reading too much into it. Are we going back to the Adventurers Guild, or where are we going from here? Atticus? Obsidian?
I've got some stuff to think about, so I'm probably gonna go head off for a walk and just clear my head for a bit.
I think we need to find a place to secure our funds.
I mean, at the moment, we don't really have many funds.
We have whatever is in that sachet.
Yeah, it's like 60 gold. It's not that much.
You thinking like opening a bank account, or?
I don't know, perhaps I don't know how finances work in D&D land.
I have a bank map.
I mean, we're in a big city. I'm sure there's banks here that are trustworthy, or at least, backed.
A relationship there if we're going to start making some coin, even if it is Adventurers Guild business.
I'll be honest, I gotta save up a lot of money for this license, so I need work. I'd love if it was never again like last night, but the occasional clearing out a bug nest, we can do that. If you guys want to work together, I do need the coin.
Then it's settled.
Let's just try and keep each other alive, though, right? I feel like I've never taken so many hits as I have in the last 3 days.
I've got your back.
So, I'm going to swap the microphone if you don't mind. So, there we go. Yes, you are heading. So, Atticus wants to go for a little bit of a walk to clear his head. The others are what? Are we intend to head back to the Adventurers Guild? Just so I know what to be starting up with next time.
I mean, this could be for Sarah. It could be by herself as well. I think she'd be happy to check out like some sort of like banking institution. She's also for a while wants to go to just check out like the temple scene. But that can be like a solo trip as well.
Sure.
Yeah. GM, just a reminder that I'm on an airplane next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Just don't.
So I'll go back to the Adventurers Guild,
Okay.
maybe for a nap.
Okay. Yeah, get your head down. Obsidian, any plans? Just so I know what to prep, or are you just gonna tag along?
Probably not really, no. Yeah.
Okay. Then we will pick up next week without Luca. And then we should talk about what our Christmas break's going to look like, depending on what people's plans are. So yes, we will be back next week -1, and we'll see you then. So thank you very much, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.